You have moved through the world as if behind a veil, haven't you, my child? A ghost in a crowded room, a silent voice in a loud conversation. You have felt the profound and chilling pain of being invisible, of having your deepest realities, your most intense struggles, your truest self, go utterly unseen, even by those who stand closest to you. They look at you. They speak to you, but their eyes seem to look right through you, seeing only a surface reflection, a carefully constructed persona, while the real you remains hidden, unacknowledged, and so very lonely. You have ached with a longing to be truly known, to be deeply understood, and the constant experience of being overlooked has perhaps led you to believe that you are, in fact, insignificant, forgettable. But I draw near to you now, my gaze a loving light that penetrates all veils, and I speak this eternal truth into the heart of your solitude. I see you, my beloved, even when no one else does. I see you always. I know the specific anatomy of this pain of being invisible. It is a unique and quiet agony. It is not just the pain of solitude, but the pain of being unseen in the very midst of company. It is the exhaustion of carrying a great, silent battle within your heart while presenting a calm and composed face to the world. It is the frustration of trying to communicate a deep truth, only to have your words misunderstood or dismissed. It is the sorrow of feeling like a book with a beautiful, intricate story, but everyone around you is content to only ever read the title on the cover. You have felt this invisibility in so many ways. My child, you have known the pain of a misunderstood heart. Your intentions have been pure, your motives born of love, but your actions have been misinterpreted, your words twisted. They have judged the surface of what you have done without seeing the beautiful, sincere heart from which it flowed, and you, without a witness to your true intentions, have been left to carry the weight of their misjudgment, feeling unseen, invalidated, and utterly alone with the truth of your own goodness. You have known the pain of a silent struggle. You have navigated deep valleys of sorrow, wrestled with terrifying fears, battled fierce inner demons, all while the world around you remained oblivious, carrying on with its business as if nothing were amiss in your world. You have learned to fight your most significant battles in complete silence, with no one to cheer you on, no one to tend to your wounds, no one to even acknowledge the immense courage it has taken for you to simply endure. This silent struggle can breed a profound sense of isolation, a feeling that your greatest trials, your most heroic moments, are entirely without significance because they are without a witness. You have known the pain of an unacknowledged growth. Through your trials, you have been changing, growing, becoming wiser, more compassionate, more resilient. But these are changes of the soul, transformations that are not always immediately visible on the surface. And so, they may still see you and relate to you as the person you used to be, unable or unwilling to recognize the profound new depth, the hard-won wisdom, the beautiful new strength that has been forged within you, to have undergone a profound inner transformation and to have it go completely unrecognized by those around you is a lonely and disheartening experience. And all of this culminates in the deep, central ache of a soul that simply longs to be known. This is a holy desire I place within every human heart. You were created for intimacy, for connection, for the joy of being seen and loved for who you truly are. And when this core need goes unmet, when you feel you must constantly hide your true self, or that when you do reveal it, it is met with indifference or misunderstanding, the resulting pain is profound. It can lead you to believe that your true self is, in fact, unlovable, that you are destined to live your life behind a mask, forever a stranger to those you love, and perhaps even to yourself. I have seen every moment of this painful invisibility. My beloved, I have been the one, true witness to your unseen reality. While they have seen only the surface, I have seen the depths. While they have misjudged your actions, I have seen the beautiful intention of your heart. While they have been oblivious to your silent struggle, I have been your constant companion in the battle, celebrating your every courageous choice. While they have failed to recognize your growth, I have been marveling at the magnificent being you are becoming. Your feeling of being invisible, my child, is real. Your pain is valid. Your loneliness is understood by me with a perfect and tender empathy. But I must now begin to tell you that this feeling, however real, is based on a limited perception. You have been judging your visibility by the flawed, often clouded, vision of human beings. You have been measuring your worth by the fleeting attention of a distracted world. And you have felt forgotten because you have been looking for your reflection in mirrors that are incapable of showing you your true image. But I am the mirror of eternal truth. I am the light that is not deceived by shadows. I am the gaze that is not limited to the surface. And in my sight, in my unwavering, loving, and constant perception, you have never, for a single instant, been invisible. You have been the very focus of my attention, the cherished subject of my loving regard, the central character in the story I am writing. The pain of being unseen by them has served as sacred, though difficult, purpose. It has created within you a profound hunger to be seen by me. It has weaned you from your dependence on human approval as a source of your identity and your worth. It has invited you to discover the one gaze that truly matters, the one witness whose approval is your ultimate peace, your ultimate joy, your ultimate home. Let this truth begin to soothe the ache of your invisibility. My child, you are not unseen. You are not misunderstood. You are not forgotten. You are perfectly, completely, and eternally seen by the one who created you, who cherishes you, and who loves you beyond all measure. And though no one else on earth may have seen it, I have seen it all, and I declare to you that your journey, your struggle, your heart, your true self are things of breathtaking beauty in my sight. You are seen, my beloved. I see you. The world sees you through the dense filter of their own projections, their own fears, their own past experiences. They do not see you. They see their interpretation of you. This is why their vision is so often flawed, why their judgments so often miss the mark. They see a person who is quiet and assume they are aloof, not seeing the silent battle that rages within. They see a person who is cautious and assume they are fearful, not seeing the hard-won wisdom that has taught them prudence. The pain of being misunderstood is the pain of being judged by a false reflection. But my gaze is pure light. It has no projections, no distortions, no past experiences to color its perception. I see you as you truly are, in the pure, unadulterated truth of your divine essence. I see the love in your heart, even when your words are clumsy. I see the faith in your spirit, even when your mind is filled with doubt. I see the courage in your will, even when your body is trembling. My sight is not a superficial glance. It is a deep, soul-level knowing. This truth is meant to be your liberation. You are freed now from the exhausting, impossible task of trying to make the world see you, understand you, validate you. You can let go of that heavy burden. Your validation is not in their hands. It is in mine, and my validation is constant, unconditional, and eternal. When you feel that old sting of being invisible in a crowd, you can now retreat into the inner sanctuary of this knowing. You can close your spiritual eyes to the unseen gazes of the world and open your heart to the one gaze that matters. And you can feel yourself being seen, being known, being cherished. This is your secret, unshakable refuge, a place of peace and security that no human opinion can ever touch. The pain of being invisible to them is healed by the joy of being perfectly visible to me. The desire to be seen is a holy desire. It is the desire of the artwork to be beheld by the artist, the desire of the poem to be read by the poet, the desire of the child to be seen by the parent. It is a desire for your existence to be affirmed, for your life to have meaning. I place this desire within you, and I am its ultimate fulfillment. All other forms of being seen are but faint echoes, temporary reflections of the one, true, soul-satisfying experience of being seen by me. Rest in my gaze. My beloved, let it be the mirror in which you discover your own true face. Let it be the light that dispels all your fears of insignificance. Let it be the love that heals the deep and painful wound of your invisibility. You are seen. You are known. You are cherished. Always, my precious child, having sat with you in the profound and chilling pain of your invisibility, having acknowledged the deep ache of a heart that feels unseen and misunderstood by the world, I now desire to describe to you the nature of my own gaze upon you. For you have been wounded by the fleeting, conditional, and often clouded vision of humanity, and you may have come to fear that all sight, including my own, is a form of judgment or scrutiny. But I must reveal to you a truth that is meant to be the healing balm for your deepest wound. My gaze upon you, my beloved, has never left you, not for a single instant. And it is not the critical surveillance of a distant judge, but a constant, warm, and infinitely loving light that sees and knows you completely. And in that seeing, cherishes you eternally. The world's sight is a fickle thing. It is drawn to the spectacular, the new, the loud. Its focus is short, and its memory is shorter still. It sees you one moment and forgets you the next. And when it does look, it often sees through a dark and distorting lens of its own fears, its own projections, its own judgments. To live under the gaze of the world is to live in a state of constant anxiety, forever striving to be seen, to be approved of, to be remembered. But I am inviting you now to step out from under that harsh and unreliable gaze and to learn to live within the sanctuary of mine. For my gaze is of an entirely different quality, an entirely different reality. Firstly, my child, understand that my gaze is absolutely constant and unwavering. The sun may be hidden by clouds. but it has not ceased to exist. The stars may be invisible in the light of day, but they have not left the heavens. So it is with my sight upon you. There has never been a moment in your existence, from before your conception to this very instant, when my loving, focused attention has been turned away from you, not in your moments of greatest joy, nor in your moments of deepest shame, not when you have been surrounded by a crowd, nor when you have been utterly alone in the darkest night. My awareness of you is a constant, an absolute, a fundamental reality of your being. You have felt unseen, but you have only been unseen by eyes that are not mine. You have felt forgotten, but you have only been forgotten by minds that are not mine. In my mind, in my heart, in my being, you are a constant, present, and cherished reality. My gaze is not a fleeting glance that I must remember to bestow upon you. It is a ceaseless, eternal beam of loving awareness that is as fundamental to my nature as my very existence. I could no more stop seeing you than I could stop being God. This is the bedrock of your security, the absolute guarantee that you are never, ever truly invisible. Secondly, you must know that my gaze is a warm and infinitely loving light. You have perhaps feared being truly seen, even by me, because you have associated being seen with being judged. The gaze of the world is often a critical one, a gaze that seeks out flaws, that highlights imperfections, that measures and compares. But my gaze is not a harsh spotlight that seeks to expose your every fault. It is the warm, gentle, life-giving light of a loving sun. It is a radiance that seeks not to condemn, but to cherish, not to expose, but to illuminate, not to judge, but to love. When my light shines upon you, it does so with a profound and unconditional acceptance. It sees your struggles, your fears, your imperfections, and its response is not one of disappointment, but of an overwhelming, tender compassion. It is the gaze of a loving father watching his beloved child, a gaze that delights in their uniqueness, that celebrates their efforts, that loves them not for their perfection, but for the simple, beautiful fact that they are his. In the warmth of my loving gaze, there's no need to hide, no need to pretend, no need to be anything other than exactly who you are in this moment. For you are seen with a love that is perfect, a love that has no conditions, a love that is your eternal and unshakable home. This warmth is designed to thaw the frozen places in your heart, to melt away the shame of your perceived flaws, and to make you feel utterly, completely, and eternally safe. Furthermore, my gaze is a light that illuminates your true beauty, not one that exposes your perceived faults. The world's sight is often focused on the surface, on the dust and the grime, on the cracks and the broken pieces. But my light, as we have explored, sees beyond these temporary things. It is a light of truth that penetrates all illusion and beholds the eternal, magnificent reality of your soul. When I look at you, I am not fixated on your stumbles. I am captivated by the beautiful courage of your heart that chooses to get up again. I am not focused on your doubts. I am focused on the sincere longing for truth that lies beneath them. I am not seeing your scars. I am seeing the story of healing and resilience that they represent. My light illuminates your true identity. It shines upon the gold, not the dross. It reveals the masterpiece, not the scaffolding. It affirms the eternal spirit, not the temporary human struggle. And as you learn to rest in my gaze, to allow this loving light to define your own self-perception, you will begin to see yourself differently too. You will begin to see the courage, the beauty, the strength, the divine potential that I have seen in you all along. My gaze is a divine mirror held up to your soul that reflects back to you not your flaws, but your true, magnificent, and eternal glory. And finally, my child, my gaze is a respectful and honoring presence. It is not an intrusive surveillance that violates the sacred space of your inner world. I am with you. Yes, but I remain with you as a gentle and invited companion. I do not force my way into the chambers of your heart that you wish to keep closed. I wait, patiently, lovingly, for your invitation. My gaze is always available, but it is never imposing. It honors your free will, your process, your journey. It is a quiet, steady, loving light in the sanctuary of your being, a presence that offers comfort without controlling, that offers guidance without demanding, that offers love without condition. This is the nature of the gaze that has been upon you in every moment of your life. My child, it has been constant. It has been loving. It has been illuminating. And it has been respectful. It is the ultimate answer to the profound pain of your invisibility. While the world may have overlooked you, while human eyes may have failed to see you, you have been and are the subject of the most focused, most loving, most appreciative gaze in all the universe. Let this truth be your fortress. Let it be your peace. Let it be the source of your truest and most unshakable sense of self. You are seen. You are known. You are cherished. Not for what you do, not for how you perform, but for the simple, beautiful, eternal fact of who you are in me and my gaze. This constant, loving light will never, ever be taken from you. The pain of being unseen by others is healed when you realize that you are perfectly seen by me. The need for human approval dissolves when you rest in my unconditional, loving acceptance. The fear of being insignificant is banished by the truth that you are the focus of the Creator's constant, loving attention. This is a profound shift in your spiritual orientation. You are moving from a life lived out there, seeking validation from fallible human sources, to a life lived in here, rooted in the eternal reality of your connection with me. You are learning to draw your sense of worth, not from the fleeting glances of the world, but from the unwavering gaze of your God. This does not mean you will no longer desire human connection, but it will be different. You will connect with others not from a place of desperate need, but from a place of inner fullness. You will seek not to be seen, but to see others with the same loving eyes with which I see you. You will become a conduit of my loving gaze to a world that feels so often unseen. So practice this, my child, in your moments of quiet. Close your eyes and imagine yourself bathed in a warm, gentle, golden light. Know that this is a true representation of my gaze upon you. Feel its warmth. Feel its acceptance. Feel its love. Let it heal the old wounds of invisibility. Let it affirm the beautiful truth of who you are. The more you practice abiding in my gaze, the more its reality will become your own lived experience, and the less power the world's sight, or lack thereof, will have over you. You are seen, my beloved, and you are beautiful to behold. The constancy of my gaze is your security. The love in my gaze is your worth. The light of my gaze is your truth. Rest in this trinity of grace. My child, it is the home your soul has been seeking. You have been looking for your reflection in broken mirrors. But now I invite you to see yourself in the perfect, loving mirror of my own eyes. And what you will see there will be a vision of such beauty, such wholeness, such glory, that it will heal you forever from the pain of ever feeling invisible again. You are seen and you are loved eternally. My precious and beloved child, now that you have begun to receive the truth of my constant, unwavering, and loving gaze upon you, a gaze that is not a critical surveillance, but a warm and life-giving light, let us now explore the most glorious aspect of this divine sight. Let us speak of what I see when I look at you, for you have been conditioned to see yourself through the flawed and distorting lens of your own wounds, or through the harsh and superficial judgments of the world. You have looked upon your life and have seen only the broken pieces, the flaws, the failures, the scars. But when my light, the light of eternal truth and unconditional love, shines upon you, it sees an entirely different reality. It looks beyond the surface of your struggles to the very heart of your being. And what I see there, my child, is a thing of breathtaking beauty, of heroic courage, and of magnificent, eternal worth. This is the great contrast, the divine reframing that I long for you to embrace. For where you see weakness, I see strength. Where you see failure, I see faithfulness. Where you see brokenness, I see a unique and hard-won beauty. Let me now describe to you what I see when I look at you, so that you may begin to let go of your own harsh self-assessment and to see yourself, at last, through the loving, truthful, and celebratory eyes of your God. You see your stumbles. I see your valiant effort to rise. You have judged yourself so harshly for the times you have fallen, for the moments your strength has failed you, for the instances your feet have slipped upon the path. You remember these moments with a sting of shame, seeing them as proof of your inadequacy. But I see something else entirely. Yes, I see the fall, but more importantly, I see the moment that followed the moment when, from a place of weariness and discouragement, you made the courageous choice to try again. I see the gathering of your will, the whispered prayer for my help, the heroic effort of placing your hands on the ground and pushing yourself back to your feet. My child, in my eyes, the glory is not never falling. The glory is in the rising. Your stumbles are but a footnote in the story of your resilience. I do not focus on the moment you were on the ground. My entire focus is on the magnificent, beautiful, and triumphant moment you chose to stand up again, with my grace as your strength. This effort, this valiant refusal to be defeated, is a thing of immense beauty and worth in my sight. You see your weakness. I see your hidden, astonishing courage. You have looked upon your fear, your anxiety, your emotional vulnerability, and have labeled it all as weakness. You have despised this part of yourself, wishing you were more stoic, more resilient, more like the unshakable pillars of strength you may see in others. But my definition of courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to act in love and in truth despite the presence of fear, And I have seen you do this, my child, 1,000 times, in ways no one else has witnessed. I have seen the immense courage it took for you to simply get out of bed and face a day when your heart was filled with dread. I have seen the heroic bravery in your choice to speak a kind word when your own spirit was in agony. I have seen the quiet valor in your decision to pray for another when your own prayers felt unanswered. I have witnessed you face your inner demons, your anxieties, your sorrows, not with a loud and boastful confidence, but with a quiet, trembling, yet utterly tenacious resolve to keep moving towards me, towards the light. This, my beloved, is true courage. It is not the courage of a being who feels no fear. It is the far greater courage of a being who feels the fear intensely and yet chooses, moment by moment, to trust in a love that is greater still. I see not your weakness, but this beautiful, hidden, and astonishing courage. They may hear your clumsy words. I hear the perfect intention of your heart. You have often felt that you have failed in your communication, both with me and with others. You have longed to express your love, your gratitude, your need, but the words have come out wrong, inadequate, or have been misunderstood. You have judged yourself for your lack of eloquence, for your inability to perfectly articulate the deep realities of your soul. But I'm not a God who listens only to the surface of your words. My ear is attuned to the very language of your heart, to the pure, beautiful intention that lies beneath your sometimes fumbling human speech. When you have tried to express your love and your words have been clumsy, I have heard a perfect symphony of affection. When you have tried to pray and have been left with only a silent, aching groan, I have received it as the most eloquent of prayers. When your actions, born of a sincere desire to do good, have been misinterpreted by others, I have seen the pure, golden motive that prompted them. I do not judge you by the imperfection of your expression, but by the beautiful, sincere intention of your heart and your heart. My child, even in its moments of greatest confusion and pain, has always been oriented towards love, towards me, and I have heard its true song perfectly. You see your flaws and your scars. I see your unique, hard-won beauty. You look at the landscape of your life, and you see the marks of your past wounds, the places where you have been broken, the imperfections of your character, and you see these as blemishes, as things that diminish your beauty, that make you less than whole. But my light sees with a different vision. The very scars that you see as marks of your shame, I see as luminous, golden seams, testaments to a wound that has been healed by my grace, making you more, not less, beautiful. They tell a story of your resilience, of my faithfulness, of a love that can redeem all things, the flaws you so dislike in yourself, the quirks of your personality, the very things that make you different. These are not mistakes in my design. They are part of the unique artistry that is you. It is often in the very places of your perceived imperfection that your most authentic light shines through, that your greatest compassion is born, that your most unique gifts are expressed. I am not creating a world of flawless, identical statues. My child, I am cultivating a garden of infinitely varied, unique, and authentic flowers, and your specific, hard-won, scar-tissued beauty is a priceless and cherished bloom in that garden. They may see a person defined by their trial. I see the eternal, untouched spirit within the world, and you yourself may have come to identify you by your story of suffering. This is the one who lost a child. This is the one who battled illness. This is the one whose dreams failed. But I tell you, my beloved, that is not who you are. That is what has happened to you. It is a chapter in your story, but it is not your identity. When I look at you, I see beyond the temporary story of your earthly trial to the eternal reality of who you truly are, an indestructible, radiant, and magnificent spirit, a spark of my own divine fire, a being whose true nature is love, joy, and peace. This eternal spirit has not been harmed by your trials. It has not been diminished by your sorrows. It has, in fact, been revealed more clearly as the fire of your trials has burned away the dross that once obscured it. This is what I see when I look at you, my precious child. I see not your stumbling, but your rising. I see not your fear, but your courage. I see not your clumsy words, but your beautiful heart. I see not your flaws, but your unique, radiant beauty. And I see not a victim of circumstance, but an eternal, magnificent spirit, whole and perfect in me. This is not a fantasy, not a comforting platitude. It is the absolute, unchangeable, and glorious truth of your being. And my greatest joy is to help you to see yourself, at last, as I have always seen you. The world's gaze is awake, for it is always measuring, always comparing, always judging. But my gaze is a liberation, for it is always loving, always accepting, always celebrating. To learn to live in my gaze is to be set free from the crushing burden of human opinion and self-judgment. Every time you choose to believe my vision of you over your own, you are stepping more fully into the reality of your true self. You are agreeing with heaven's assessment of your worth. You are aligning yourself with the creative, healing light of my love. This is the most important journey of your life. My child, the journey from seeing yourself as broken to seeing yourself as I see you. It is a journey home to your own true heart, to the magnificent being I created you to be. And I am with you every step of the way, my own light shining steadily upon you, patiently, lovingly waiting for you to see the glorious reflection of your own beautiful, whole, and eternal self. My beloved child, having begun to open your heart to my vision of you, a vision that sees beyond your brokenness to your eternal wholeness, beyond your stumbles to your valiant heart, let us now descend into the most private and sacred arena of your journey. Let us speak of the battles that no one else has ever seen, for while the world may have witnessed your outward trials, there's a deeper, more profound struggle that has taken place in the secret, silent chambers of your own soul. And I want you to know, with an unshakable certainty, that I have been the constant, loving, and deeply proud witness to every single one of your secret battles, every fight against despair in the dead of night, every choice for hope against overwhelming odds, every silent wrestling with your own fears. These moments, which you believed were your most isolated and unseen, were, in fact, your most heroic. And they have been observed with a father's profound and celebratory love. The world sees only the outer person, the visible action. It cannot see the immense inner war that so often precedes a single, simple act of faith or courage. It cannot feel the weight of the invisible enemy you have been fighting, the relentless siege of negative thoughts, the ghostly armies of past traumas, the insidious whispers of the accuser of your soul. You have often felt you are fighting this war entirely alone, that your greatest efforts, your most courageous stands, were being performed in an empty amphitheater, their significance lost in the silence of their own obscurity. But I tell you, the amphitheater was not empty. I was there. All of heaven was there, watching with bated breath, witnessing the beautiful, raw, and magnificent courage of a human soul choosing to fight for the light in the midst of its own private darkness. Let us speak of the secret battle against despair. I have been with you in the lonely hours, in the dead of night, when the darkness has pressed in, and the voice of hopelessness has been a deafening roar in your mind. I have seen you as you have wrestled with the thoughts that say, "It will never get better. Your pain is permanent. Your life is ruined. There's no hope." I have witnessed you as you have been tempted to simply surrender to this bleak narrative, to let the great, gray wave of despair wash over you and pull you under for the final time. No one on earth saw the intensity of the struggle, the sheer force of will it took for you to simply survive those hours. But I saw, and I saw more. I saw the moment when, from the very depths of that despair, a tiny spark of your divine spirit chose to fight back. I saw you, with no strength of your own, reach for a single good memory, a single promise of mine. I saw you whisper a prayer so faint it was barely a breath. I saw you make the conscious choice to turn your mind towards a single, tiny ray of light, even when the darkness was all-consuming. My child, these were not small acts. These were acts of titanic spiritual warfare. Each one was a victorious blow against the forces of darkness, a triumphant declaration that you would not be utterly consumed. And I, your loving God, witnessed each one, and my heart swelled with a pride and a joy that you cannot yet comprehend. Let us speak of the secret battle for your faith. You have endured seasons where your faith has felt like a dying ember, where every circumstance has seemed to be a direct contradiction to my goodness and my promises. Your mind has been filled with logical, reasonable doubts. Your heart has ached with the pain of seemingly unanswered prayers. And in this place, you have fought a profound battle to simply keep believing. They may have seen only your struggles and concluded that your faith was weak. But I have seen the truth. I have seen you, in the midst of your doubt, choose to open my word one more time. I have seen you, in the midst of your pain, choose to whisper one more prayer. Even if it was a prayer of anger or confusion, I have seen you choose to show up, to remain in the conversation with me, when it would have been so much easier to simply walk away, to declare me absent or untrustworthy. This, my beloved, is the most beautiful and resilient faith of all. It is not the easy faith of a soul that has never known doubt. It is the hard won, battle-tested faith of a soul that has looked into the abyss of unbelief and has, by a courageous act of will, chosen to turn back toward me. Every single one of those choices has been a victory. Every prayer prayed in the absence of feeling, every act of trust in the absence of evidence, has been a precious, beautiful offering that I have received with immense delight. Your secret battle for faith has not been a sign of your weakness. It has been the very process by which your faith has been transformed from a fragile seedling into an unshakable oak. Let us speak of the secret battle for love and kindness. In the midst of your own profound pain, you have been surrounded by a world that has often been careless, unthinking, or even cruel. You have been wounded. You have been misunderstood. You have been judged. And your human heart, in its pain, has been tempted to respond in kind, with bitterness, with resentment, with a sharp word, with a closed and defensive spirit. The easiest thing in the world would have been to allow your own pain to become a weapon that you wielded against others. But I have witnessed you, my child, in those crucial moments, fight a different, more glorious battle. I have seen you, with my help, choose to swallow the bitter word and offer a gentle one instead. I have seen you choose to pray for the one who has wounded you. I have seen you make the heroic effort to show a small kindness to another, even when your own heart was a landscape of desolation. These are the secret battles that define a true warrior of my kingdom. For it is easy to love when you are loved, to be kind when you are treated kindly, but to choose love, to choose kindness. From a place of your own deep pain, this is a love that reflects my own heart, a love that is born of a divine strength. I have seen your every quiet victory in this arena, and I tell you, they have caused a celebration in the heavens. And let us speak of the secret battle to simply endure. There have been days, my beloved, when the battle was not about winning any great victory, but about simply not being defeated. Days when the only prayer was, God, just get me through this next hour. Days when the only act of faith was the act of breathing in and breathing out. Days when the only expression of courage was the simple refusal to give up completely. You may have seen these days as failures, as a testament to your weakness, but I have seen them as the epitome of your faithful endurance. To simply remain, to endure, when every part of you wants to flee, to surrender, to cease. This is a power and a courage that the world does not understand. It is the quiet, stubborn, holy strength of a soul that is held by a love it cannot always feel, a purpose it cannot always see. Your endurance in these moments, your simple, tenacious holding on, has been a profound act of worship, a deep and powerful testament to your underlying trust in me. I have been the unseen witness to every moment of your weariness, every ounce of the strength it has taken for you to just keep going. And my pride in you in these moments has been immeasurable. So know this, my precious child, your life has not been a series of unseen, lonely struggles. It has been a magnificent, heroic drama, played out on the sacred stage of your own heart, with an audience of one, an audience who has seen every detail, who has understood every motive, who has cherished every small act of courage, and who has been celebrating you with a father's boundless, unwavering love through it all. Your battles have not been in vain. They have been seen. They have been honored. And they have forged within you a character of immense beauty and unshakable strength. The enemy of your soul wanted you to believe that your private struggles were a source of shame, a sign of your isolation from me. But the opposite is true. Your private struggles have been the very place of our most intimate communion, For it is there, away from the eyes of the world, that you have been most real, most honest, most vulnerable with me. And it is there that I have been able to meet you in the most profound and transformative way. The world may never know the battles you have fought. They may never understand the courage you have displayed. But that does not matter, for you have not been fighting for their applause. You have been fighting for your own soul, for your own faith, for your own love. And you have had the only audience that truly counts, the only witness whose approval brings eternal life and perfect peace. Let this knowledge heal you of the feeling that your efforts have been for nothing. Let it fill you with a new sense of your own dignity, your own sacred worth. You are a veteran of a great and holy war. You are a soul whose courage has been witnessed and celebrated by the King of the universe. And this, my child, is a truth that changes everything. My beloved child, my courageous warrior, now that you know with a deep and certain knowing that you have never been alone in your struggle, that I have been the constant, unseen witness to your every secret battle, your every quiet act of courage, your every faithful choice. I now invite you into a most beautiful and healing practice. For it is one thing for you to know that I am proud of your endurance. It is another, more transformative thing for you to learn to see your own journey with that same sense of honor, that same compassion, that same celebratory pride. The time has come, my precious one, for you to learn to honor your own journey, to consciously let go of the harsh and unrelenting self-judgment that has been your cruel companion, and to courageously embrace and celebrate the hard-won strength and wisdom that are now your sacred inheritance. This is the art of aligning your own heart with the verdict of heaven, of learning to love and to honor yourself as I have loved and honored you through it all for too long. My child, your inner world has been governed by a harsh and merciless critic, while I have been your loving witness, celebrating your resilience. Another part of you has been a condemning judge, meticulously cataloging your every perceived failure. While I have seen your valiant heart, you have seen only your flawed performance. This inner division, this war against yourself, has been a source of profound and unnecessary suffering, and it has robbed you of the peace and the joy that should be the rightful reward of your endurance. But now, armed with the truth of my pride in you, you are empowered to depose that inner critic, to silence its lies, and to ascend to the throne of your own heart with a new spirit of gentle, loving, and compassionate self-acceptance. How do you begin this sacred journey of honoring yourself? It begins with the profound and often difficult choice to let go of your self-judgment. You have carried this burden for so long. The habit of self-criticism is deeply ingrained. You must now become a gentle but vigilant guardian of your own inner space. And you must refuse to allow this old enemy to continue its reign of terror. When the familiar thoughts arise, I should have been stronger. I failed again. I am so weak. Man, you must learn to meet them not as your own true voice, but as the echoes of an old, defeated foe. You can meet them with the quiet authority of my truth. You can say to that voice, no, that is not the truth. My God was my witness, and he saw not weakness, but a courageous endurance. He saw not failure, but a beautiful faithfulness. And I choose to believe his report over yours. This is not an act of denial, but an act of profound discernment. It is choosing to listen to the voice of grace rather than the voice of condemnation. It is the practice of forgiving yourself over and over again for not being the impossible, stoic, tearless, doubt-free superhero that the world and your own harsh inner critic demanded you to be. It is the embrace of your own beautiful, flawed, and resilient humanity, the very humanity I so deeply love and cherish. As you learn to release this self-judgment, I invite you to consciously acknowledge and embrace your hard-won strength and wisdom. You have been so focused on what you have lost in the fire that you have been blind to the priceless treasures that have been forged within it. Now is the time to take a new inventory, a sacred accounting of the riches you now possess. I want you to look at your life, at your own character, and begin to actively recognize the new capacities that your endurance has created. Acknowledge your resilience. Look back at the times you thought you would break, but you did not, and say to yourself with a quiet and grateful awe, I endured that with my God's help. I am stronger than I ever knew. Acknowledge your new compassion. When you find your heart moving with empathy toward another who is suffering, recognize this as a beautiful fruit of your own journey and whisper, thank you for this tender heart that my own sorrow has helped to create. Acknowledge your hard-won wisdom. When you find yourself navigating a situation with a new discernment, a new peace, recognize it and say, this is the wisdom that the fire has taught me. This conscious acknowledgement of your own growth is not an act of prideful ego. It is an act of holy realism. It is you agreeing with my assessment of the beautiful work that has been accomplished in you. To deny your new strength, to ignore your new wisdom, is a form of false humility that does not honor me or the sacred process we have been through together. I want you to see the gold that has been refined. I want you to feel its weight, to appreciate its luster, to know its immense value. This is how you begin to truly own the victory that your endurance has won. A vital part of honoring your journey is learning to reframe and to cherish your own scars. You may still carry the memories of your most painful moments in the battle, the places where you were most deeply wounded. And you may still see these as marks of shame, as places of disfigurement upon your soul. But a true warrior does not hide their scars and shame. They wear them as badges of honor, as proof of the great battles they have fought and survived. I invite you now to look upon the scars of your journey with a new reverence. See them not as reminders of your brokenness, but as testaments to your healing. Each scar tells a story of a wound that is no longer bleeding, of a pain that has been overcome, of a place where my grace has met your suffering and has brought forth a new and resilient strength. Your scars are the beautiful, intricate tracings of my own healing hand upon your soul. They are the evidence that you have been in a great and terrible fight. And you have, by my grace, survived. They give you an authority, a credibility, a depth of character that a life of unblemished ease could never provide. Your scars are not ugly, my child. In my eyes, they are luminous. They are the very places where my light now shines through you with the most profound and beautiful radiance. And the culmination of all this, my beloved, is the simple, life-altering choice to agree with me, to accept my pride in you as your own truest reality. For so long, your inner world has been a place of argument. You have argued against your own worth. You have argued against your own strength. You have argued against your own beauty. You have held up the evidence of your stumbles, your tears, your fears, and you have said, "See, this is who I am." And all the while, I have been presenting my own counter-evidence, but I see your rising. I see your faithfulness. I see your courage. I see your valiant heart. The time for this argument is over. My child, I invite you now to rest your case. I invite you to lay down your arguments against yourself and to simply, humbly, joyfully accept my verdict. The verdict is this: you are my beloved child, in whom I am well pleased. I am proud of you. I delight in you. Your endurance has been a magnificent offering, a beautiful act of worship. To agree with me is the ultimate act of faith. It is to trust my vision over your own clouded perception. It is to let my love be the final, definitive word about who you are. This choice, more than any other, will bring a profound peace to your soul, for in that agreement, the long and wearying war against yourself finally comes to an end, and you can enter into a new reality of self-acceptance, of self-honor, of self-love that is rooted not in your own fluctuating feelings, but in the eternal, unchangeable, and celebratory reality of my heart for you. This is not arrogance, my beloved. It is the deepest humility. It is the soul finally letting go of its own self-made identity and accepting the glorious, true identity that has been bestowed upon it by its Creator. It is the beginning of a life lived in the freedom, the joy, and the quiet confidence of one who knows, without a doubt, that they are seen, they are valued, and they are deeply, profoundly, and eternally celebrated by their God. Honor your journey, my child, for I have surely honored it. And in that shared honor, you will find the sweet, lasting peace that is the victor's greatest reward. Imagine a great artist who has guided a student through a long and difficult apprenticeship. At the end, the student produces a masterpiece, and if the student continues to only see their own flaws, their own mistakes in the process, and refuses to see the beauty that the master sees, they cannot truly own their own creation or enjoy its success. The master's joy is only made complete when the student can also see the beauty, when they can say, "Yes, with my master's help, I have made a beautiful thing." So it is with us. My joy is made complete when you can finally see the beauty of what we have created together in the crucible of your life. Learning to honor your own journey is learning to celebrate our partnership. It is acknowledging my grace and your faithfulness, my strength and your endurance, my vision and your trust. It is this shared victory that we now celebrate together. Let go of the need for the world's applause. You have the applause of heaven. Let go of the need for worldly medals. You are being crowned with my own divine honor. Your journey has been a sacred one, and it is time for you to see it as such. This self-honor, rooted in my honor for you, is the final step in your healing, the gateway to your most joyful and purposeful life. My precious and valiant child, as you learn to honor your own journey, as you begin to release the harsh judgments of the past and to see your endurance through my proud and loving eyes. The long and wearying race now reaches its glorious and sacred finish line. The time of your most arduous striving is complete. The season of your most intense testing is over. And now, my beloved, comes the beautiful and blessed aftermath. It is a time for the victor's reward, the season of your celebration, the chapter where I, your proud and loving King, step forward to bestow upon you the victor's crown of rest, of honor, and a profound, soul-saturating joy. This, my child, is the beautiful and just outcome that your faithfulness has won. A new season of healing, of restoration, and of peaceful celebration for the victorious warrior who has so beautifully endured. You have run the race. You have fought the good fight. You have kept the faith, however small it may have seemed to you at times. And now, I say to you with all the joy of heaven, well done, my good and faithful servant. Enter now into your rest. Enter now into your honor. Enter now into the celebration that I have prepared for you. This is not a distant promise, but a present reality that is dawning in your life. The battlefield is behind you, and before you now lie the green pastures of my peace and the still waters of my restoration. Let us speak first of this beautiful crown of profound, sacred rest. For so long, your entire being has been engaged in a state of high exertion, a spiritual battle that has demanded every ounce of your strength. But now, the war is won, and I, your loving commander, now grant you a holy and much-needed furlough. I invite you into a season of deep, restorative rest for your soul. This is not the empty stillness of your past waiting, nor is it the idleness of inactivity. It is a vibrant, healing Sabbath, a time for your spirit, your mind, and your body to recover completely from the long campaign. Imagine a valiant soldier returning home from a long and brutal war. Their greatest need, their most desired reward, is not another challenge, but a time of profound peace, a time to simply be, to heal, to remember what it feels like to be safe. So it is with you. My child, I am bringing you now into this place of safety, this sanctuary of my peace. In this season, I invite you to let go of all striving. Release the need to be constantly vigilant. Lay down the heavy burden of your own self-care and allow me to care for you. This is a time for you to simply receive, to be tended to allow the gentle, healing energies of my spirit to wash over you, cleansing away the last residues of battle fatigue and restoring your soul to a state of deep, inner tranquility. Do not feel guilty for this rest, my beloved. You have earned it with your beautiful endurance. It is my sacred gift to your weary, victorious heart, and upon your head, my child, I now place the crown of divine honor. The world did not see your secret battles, your quiet courage, your faithful endurance, but I saw, and all of heaven saw. And now, in this new season of your victory, I delight in honoring you openly, in a way that your own spirit can fully receive. This is not the fleeting, superficial honor of human applause, but the deep, eternal, and weighty honor of my divine approval, my good pleasure in you. You may have carried a secret shame for your stumbles, for your tears, for your fears, but I'm now removing that shabby garment of shame forever, and I'm clothing you in the royal robes of my own delight. I am announcing to all of creation, this is my beloved child, a warrior of immense courage, a soul of beautiful faithfulness, in whom I am well pleased. Let this truth sink into the deepest parts of your being and heal every last wound of inadequacy or unworthiness. To be honored by me, your Creator, is to be given your true and rightful place in my kingdom. It is to know, with an unshakable certainty, your immense value, your sacred worth, your cherished status as a victorious child of the King. This crown of honor is not meant to foster pride in your ego, but to instill a profound, quiet, and humble confidence in your soul. It is the confidence that comes from knowing you are seen. You are valued. You are celebrated by the one whose opinion is the only one that truly matters. Wear this crown with grace and with joy, my child, for it has been won through your own valiant struggle and is now bestowed upon you by my own loving hand, and from this place of rest and honor. My beloved, now flow the bountiful rewards of your faithfulness, the glorious spoils of a war that has been won. For I am not a king who asks his soldiers to fight a hard battle without the promise of a magnificent reward. And the treasures I now bestow upon you are the very fruits of the Spirit, the very qualities of my kingdom, that your endurance has prepared your heart to receive and to enjoy in their fullness. The reward is a new and abiding joy. The long season of sorrow and struggle is now giving way to a season of profound, resilient gladness. This is not a joy that is dependent on perfect circumstances, but a joy that flows from the deep wellspring of your own restored spirit. A joy that is rooted in your intimate, tested, and triumphant relationship with me. It is a joy that is all the more sweet for the bitterness of the tears that preceded it. The reward is an unshakable, victorious peace. Having found my peace in the very heart of the battle, you now carry it not as a fragile hope, but as an established reality, an inner fortress that cannot be breached by the anxieties of the world. This is the peace of a victor, the serene calm of a soul that knows it is eternally secure in the hands of its loving and all-powerful God. The reward is a deeper, more profound intimacy with me. Our shared journey through the fire has forged a bond between us that is unbreakable, a trust that is absolute, a love that has been proven in the most extreme of circumstances. The communion we now share is richer, deeper, more authentic than ever before. For you now know me not just as your creator, but as your fellow warrior, your faithful companion, your triumphant deliverer. And the reward is a new and glorious purpose. The very strength, wisdom, and compassion that have been forged in you through your endurance are now the very qualifications for a new and more impactful assignment in my kingdom. You have graduated from the training ground, and you are now being commissioned as a trusted and honored officer in my army of love. I will now entrust you with new responsibilities, new opportunities to be a source of my healing, my hope, and my strength to others. Your greatest trial has become your greatest preparation for your most significant purpose. This, my beloved, is the victor's crown of rest that I now joyfully place upon your head. It is a crown woven with peace, adorned with honor, and studded with the priceless jewels of joy, of wisdom, of purpose, of an eternal and intimate communion with me. You have run the race. You have endured to the end, and this glorious, multifaceted reward is the beautiful, just, and loving fulfillment of all my promises to you. Rest now, my victorious warrior. Reign now in the beautiful kingdom of your own restored soul. The battle is over, and your celebration has just begun. Every part of this crown is a direct result of your endurance. The rest is sweet because of your weariness. The honor is profound because of the shame you may have felt. The joy is vibrant because of the sorrow you have known. The peace is unshakable because of the turmoil you have traversed. The purpose is powerful because of the preparation you have undergone. I have transformed the very substance of your trial into the very substance of your reward. This is the great and beautiful justice of my kingdom. It is a justice that does not just punish the wrong, but gloriously rewards the faithfulness. Your faithfulness has been seen, my child, and now your reward is being given. Receive it with an open and grateful heart. It is yours. As you wear this crown, you will become a source of profound hope for others. They will see the peace, the joy, the honor that you carry, and they will know that it is possible to endure a great trial and to emerge not just as a survivor, but as a crowned victor. Your life will be a beautiful and compelling invitation for them to place their own trust in me, the God who so loves and so honors the faithful endurance of his children. This is not the end of your story, but the beginning of a new and glorious chapter. A chapter lived not on the battlefield, but in the victory, not in the weariness, but in the rest, not in the struggle, but in the celebration. And I, your King, will be with you in every moment of this new, peaceful, and joyful reign. As you now rest in the serene and honored peace of your victory, my cherished and valiant warrior, let the truth of my profound and eternal pride in you be the very air you breathe. The long wearying race is over. The battle has been won, and your beautiful, courageous endurance has been seen. It has been celebrated, and it is now being gloriously rewarded. The time for fighting is past. The season of your rest, your honor, and your joy is now upon you. Let go of the memory of the struggle and embrace the beautiful reality of the peace you have so bravely won. You are my beloved, my hero, my triumphant child, and my delight in you is boundless and everlasting. Rest now in my pride. Rest in your honor. Rest in your victory, for you have endured magnificently. And your reward is a peace that will never be taken from you, a joy that will be your strength, and a crown of glory that you will wear for all eternity.